Hi folks, so what we're going to do in today's question is this little problem here based on an American football. It's based on the topic of circles. So it says here, question 3, the following figure shows an American football. Draw the football using the dimensions given. Okay, so if you actually look here at the question, first of all, we can see it's a little bit tricky. I say circles, you can't really see any circle here, but what we can see is the arcs of two circles that will make a football. So here is one arc, and here is the other. Okay, and we're going to have to use the principle then of circles and our understanding of circle geometry to complete the question. Now the problem is, okay, first of all, the football is not standing straight upright, it's at an angle, and we can see that angle down here, 60 degrees, starting from here, so it's at 60 degrees to a horizontal line, so we will go up at 60 degrees, and that line there then is 200 millimeters long. Obviously, we've got another one here going through the middle of it. This point right here is in the middle, so half of 200 is 100. So the distance from the bottom to here is 100. And then that line there, okay, is actually going through the middle, but it's going perpendicular through the middle. So if that line is at 60 degrees here, this one here is at 60 degrees. 60 plus 30 makes 90. So this line here, if it's going perpendicular to it, that line there is at 30 degrees. And then we know from the center it's out 55, and once again out 55 on the opposite side. The problem is though, we do not know where the center is for this arc, and we don't know where the center is for this arc, and we also actually don't know the radius. Okay, but what we do know is we have a point here that's on the arc, a point here, and a point here, all on this arc. So 3 points on this arc, and then on this side we also have 3 points on this arc. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to use the principle of chords to help us out. Okay, so on our sheet we'll get that started there now. So just zoom out there. So with my sheet set up, I would start off, I'm going to start it off at the bottom of the page, maybe around here. And I'm going to do a line at 60 degrees. So using my T-square, I'm going to start off by doing a line at 60 degrees. Okay, and on that line I'm going to measure 200 millimeters. So 20 centimeters to there, 20 is 0. And I'm going to mark the 10 in the middle as well. Okay. And then I'm also going to go at 30 degrees through the center that I've just found. So a little bit out there and a little bit out there. Just going to extend them a little bit further. Probably went too far, but it's okay. And then from here, I'm going to measure 55 to the right, along this line, 55 millimeters. And I'm also going to measure 55 to the back, 55 from the middle to 0, which would be 55 going that way. Now, that's very helpful to me. I'm going to zoom in there now just so you can see it a bit better. Okay, just bring that down a little bit further. Okay, now I've now got the points. A point at the bottom, the point at the top. I've got the point out here and the point out here. I've found all the 3 points here that will go through this arc, and all the 3 that will go through this arc. Okay, now the problem is we don't know what the radius is, and then I also don't know actually where the center is for each arc. Okay, but I'm just going to very quickly draw in the principle of chords here, okay, and how it can help us find the center of a circle. So if I draw in a little circle there on the right hand side. Okay, let's say this often comes up as a short answer question on the junior cert. Okay, let's say I had to find the center. Now I know what's in here somewhere. Okay, I know what's in there, but I have to find the exact point of it. So I can actually use the principle of chords to help me. So now what I'm going to do is look. I'm going to use this idea here that we have 3 points. So look, I'm going to imagine there's a point here, maybe a point here, and I've got a point here. So there's my 3 points. Look, point number 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now if I create a chord from point number 1 to point number 2, okay, you can see that little chord there. I'm now going to bisect that chord. So I pick a distance greater than halfway on the line. Okay, so I bisected that chord. So from there to there. Somewhere along where I bisected that chord is going to be the center point in here. I just have to find it exactly. The only way to find it exactly would be to connect another chord from point 2 to 3. Once again, bisect the other chord. So I'll pick a distance greater than halfway There we go. And where I bisect the other chord. Now, what that has identified to me were the two chords that were bisected, where the two bisectors cross each other. Right there, I have now found the center of my circle. Okay, so we're going to apply that principle over here. Okay, once again, remember I said this was 1, this was 2, this was 3. So likewise, I'm going to do it on this one. We're going to get this arc first. Let's call this one 1, this one 2, this one 3. So, I'm going to connect the chord from 1 to 2. Okay, there's my chord. I've drawn the line. Now we don't have the arc yet. We don't have the circle. What did I do with that? From 1 to 2, I bisect it. So from 1 to 2, pick a distance greater than halfway. I'm going to keep this a little bit neater now, just so I'm doing the drawing. I'm not going to do the full arcs. So from there to there, I'm going to now. There we go. Now that I've done that, I'm going to connect here, down to this one, but I'm going to extend it on. Remember, we don't just connect the bisectors, we extend them on. And somewhere along where it's been extended on is going to be the center point. Now, the last time we connected 2 to 3 as well, so likewise we're going to do it here. 2 to 3. What do? Bisect it once again. Now, pick a distance greater than halfway, so that's the greater than halfway there, and there, up to 2, here, and here. Now, if I'm accurate, it should probably meet right in here. So this will be a true test of my accuracy. Using biros, it mightn't always work out exactly, but we'll be close enough. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's where it's after bisecting. You can see I connected the bisector through it. And essentially, where the two chords cross each other was right here. So you can see it actually was going to work out that it was on this 30-degree line anyway. Okay, I knew that. Really, we only actually needed one chord. Once I bisected this one and it went through right here, that means I found the center. Now, the only reason I did the second chord was because I wanted to prove the principle. So there's my center. Now that I have my center, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a marker now. Okay, to go over it, just so it stands out a little bit better on the screen. With my center got, I know this point here, 3, 2, and 1 are points on the curve or on the arc. So with my center got, my radius then is from the center out to any one of those points, 3, 2, or 1. And once I draw it in, you can see here, that's going through all 3 of them. And there we go. I've got the curve in on one side. Now, rather than doing all of that again, connecting this point here, remember it's this one here, not the center, this one. Rather than connecting this point, this point, this point, and then bisecting them to get the center on the other side, because the object is symmetrical, okay, I'm actually just going to take the distance for the center from this side. I'm going to take the distance from the center of the football out to the center that I located, and I'm going to mark it out on the opposite side. That's my center now on the opposite side. Now, using that as the center, I'm then going to set up my radius. So, with this as my center, I'm now going to put it up to here. I just want to check that it goes through it. Yeah, I'm happy. And I'm happy. So watch this. And there we have the shape of the football. Okay, so I just use symmetry, okay, by taking this distance here, and I marked it out the opposite side. Okay, so that's the shape of the football. Now we're actually on to the easier part of the question, I suppose, is completing all the detail. So if I go back to the question, first thing I want to do is I want to get in the white strips here. So from the center here, you can see, look, if you come up to the measurements here, I'm going to put in the stitching at the end, but it's going to be up 40, down 40, and then 20 and 20. So that's the first bit I'm going to focus on. Okay, so from the center, it's 40 millimeters up and down, so I'm going to put the 4 in the middle. I'm going to mark up to 0 and down to 8. And then from that mark down there, I'm going to mark another 20. So 0 to 2 centimeters. And then look 2 on the mark and mark up to 0. And then simply those lines there are going to go at 30 degrees. So 30 degrees this way. Okay, then come back along. I'm going to go over it with my marker. There we have it. Okay, that is the stitching on the ball. Okay, or sorry, that is the white strips on the ball. Now we're going to put in the stitching. So I'll just go into the question here. Okay, so first of all then, okay, the measurements, okay, from this line here you can see is clearly out 15, 15, 15, and 15. So it's going to be 30 out either side and 15 out either side. And then, oh yeah, sorry there, just got interrupted guys. So just on that there anyway, what we're on to now is the stitching. We've just completed the white strips. So if you actually look at the stitching here, okay, as I was saying, it was 15, 15, and 15, and 15 apart. And what we're going to do is after we measure those 15s, you'll actually see there's a bit of an arc here as well. That arc, it tells us the radius is 95. And it's actually coming from this point here, which is one of the points on our arc that was going around here. So from that point there, I get 95 on my compass. And I will mark in that arc after I've previously marked in the 15s, just to give me a guide, okay? And then actually the last little bit you can see, sorry, I should put it in there. You can see then that these lines here are each 10, and obviously they'll all be 10. So it'll be wherever that arc cuts through the lines, it'll be up 5 and down 5 on every one of them, okay? So just to complete that, what I would first of all start off by doing is from this center point here, I'm going to actually mark out 30 to the left and 30 to the right along this line. So look, there's my 30. So from the center, 30 back to 0 and 30 out to 6 would be 60. I'll mark out 15 as well. So 30 back 15, be right in the middle there, and 30 out 15, be out 45. So look, it's 15, 15, 15, and 15. Now, with those done, it's really easy. I'm just going to do a little line there, right off the curve, just like that. I won't do it the whole way. I'm trying to keep it neat and tidy. So if you imagine the stitching is going to be in between those kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay, just check back to my drawing. Yeah, it's all those 5. Now, what I'm going to do next is with my compass, I'm going to get 95 on the compass. So 0 as far as 95 there. Happy with that. So that's 95 on the compass there. Come down to this point right here, that point there. Okay, and I'm going to swing an arc to cut between this line here and all the way out to this one. It's going to be right on it. There we go. So there is the stitching line. And what's really important here now, just before I finish off the question, is I want to be 100% accurate as best I can. So what I would do then is I'd put a number on it and I'd mark 5 up and 5 down. So 5 and 5 either line. The middle now is here. So from the 8, I'm just marking 5 down and 5 up. I say down at 30 degrees to the left and at 30 degrees to the right, which is what I should say. And once again, 5 and 5. Likewise with the 8 again. I'm just using the 8, you can use any number. I'm just going 5 and 5 and putting it in the middle. 5 that way and 5 that way. And really quickly then, just to complete the stitching, put heavy in between the dots. Now, marker's bleeding a little bit, but not too bad. And there's the question completed, guys, okay? So that's the American football done there. I hope you found that helpful.